properly, like he then, when he has to start charging up his up special, like Jesier just gets above and just can dunk him like forever, and there's no way he's coming right back. But meanwhile, the icicles can also combo just straight into up air, and Ori's recovery, being that like slowish glide, has a really hard time getting around that recovery as well. I mean, that edge guard. But here we go, starting at Ethereal Gates for the second time today. Again, the larger blast zones, it's going to actually probably help Etalus quite a bit more than anything else, because he's already such a heavy character, and if he manages his armor correctly, he could be living at like 200%.
I'm actually really curious about how this ended up going to Ethereal Gates for Game 1. Mostly because I feel that, like, if you know you're fighting against a heavy character, especially a character like Etalus, you know it's going to take a while to kill them.
Yeah.
So, like, my guess is that Jesier is just confident in how well he can control the pace of this match, so that even though it will take a while to kill Etalus, if he's just constantly in control of the situation, that won't matter.
Like, Jesier's spacing during these juggles have been so good. There we go, just taking it off with the forward smash. But time and time again, LordBagel came falling down with an aerial, and we saw Jesier with that same perfect spacing, just barely getting out of the way and landing another forward smash.
One thing I especially like about that particular play where the stock was taken was how well Jesier was able to desync sign to cover the platform.
Yes.
He covered it in such a particular way that there was no way LordBagel was going to be able to get out of that situation scot-free.
And it's so cool too, because like in the process of just like putting sign in position to cover multiple options, it also visually looks like that's the option Ori is thinking about covering himself. Because that's the thing that's really scary. Is like the sign explosion is tough, but Ori's the one that will kill you for being out of place.
It's such a good mix-up too, because it's like Ori can just as confidently cover that space. So like you need to make that decision, all right, am I going to try to mix it up and come back with something aggressive?
That was actually really slick by Jesier. He was recovering by the wall, but he didn't immediately look for the wall cling and jump off, right? And that threw off LordBagel because he tried to cover that instantly. And by just stalling in the parachute for a little bit longer, Jesier made it back onto stage, almost set up that sign explosion into up smash. That is always slick to see. And now it's Bagel's looking pretty far on the back foot. If one more edge guard comes together, Jesier's going to be sitting really nice.
Yeah, like this is where what I was talking about earlier with how confident Jesier's play was as far as picking the stage goes. Like, he's controlling it so well.
Yeah.
LordBagel has not had any time to establish ice. Even though he's taken a stock, he's really only been able to do it by going for these trades. And considering how the trades are going, we're just getting so much damage, so much stage control, that it's just not working out for LordBagel.
It's the school of thought of, it doesn't really matter how much longer my opponent lives or how good their punishes are if they never actually get to hit me.
Exactly. And more of that is coming to the truth as the set goes on. Look at this, already down to last stock. LordBagel barely having an impact on the side.
Ooh, trying to beat out the down special just a little bit too late, but Jesier doesn't slow down for a moment.
I like the bold call out though.
Yeah.
Because that's how you get yourself back in the game with a situation like this. And Etalus has plenty of... Oh, look at that!
Oh, and that is the scary thing about Etalus, is the Dacus up smash, especially if he has any ice whatsoever. And now that the stock changes happen, LordBagel has set himself up with some armor as well. This could just be very devastating. Jesier makes it back on.
Went awry real quick.
Yeah.
The moment LordBagel had a little bit of ground to call his own, set the ice up. Look how dangerous this got for Jesier.
I mean, that's the trick that Jesier... Oh my god, the snipe! Are you kidding me? Jesier, the hacky sack champion of the world, just going to go ahead and toss that beanbag out there and kill a polar bear for it.
Man, just throw quick balls out here. I like it.
Because, like, the thing is, Etalus has such a good vertical recovery that, like, there was no telling whether or not LordBagel was going to move into that position, right? He could have just dropped down a little bit further and gotten out of the way and then started charging up his up special. But that call out so good. Going to be going to Fire Capital, another really large stage. I think Bagel is just still opting for them because even though he gets edge guarded for such a long time, it's like it takes him longer to actually kill me. And so long as they can make it back to stage with a little room to breathe, we saw how much the tempo changed just from a single solid hit and then ice armor right afterwards.
And I agree with the stage break. Oh no! He's still coming back though. That's still Etalus.
Yeah.
Never forget.
We still have that coverage, and it looks like LordBagel is thinking about maybe going to that upper platforms near the corners because it's harder for Jesier to cover them. But he hasn't really had the proper setup without Jesier being right below and maybe being able to set up an up smash. Just like that, the slightest back away.
No, he's just gone.
Yeah?
All right, word.
He just peaced out. Took the first flight out of Fire Capital.
Might have actually been a smart move because, technically speaking, it is the quickest way for him to get back to center stage.
Yeah, I mean, he does get advantage for that.
There are layers to these plays now.
It reminds me of seeing really old Melee VODs where one of the players would just SD when they were at a really high percent so they'd have 2 seconds of invincibility. There we go.
Hey, listen, in all honesty, it all worked out for LordBagel. He didn't take a lot of damage in his second stock.
Yeah, only 62. Oh, the slight charge on Jesier. He's looking for the kill with that empowered Astra.
Now, that's what I don't want to see out of Jesier in this. In the situation that he has, going for a lot of these aerially oriented combos and just maintaining the ledge is where he's getting a bulk of the damage, where he's getting his kills from.
Yeah.
If he tries to rush the situation, I feel like that's the biggest opportunity for LordBagel to turn this around and take advantage.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. It was a suffocating game earlier, and it's probably exhausting to do, but it was working. That's how you found it. But in any case, I mean, Jesier finds that second stock regardless. Really taking advantage of the platforms with the up smash as well, because that's where you get really easy kills, even if it's a taller ceiling here.
Can't cover everything with Sun on this stage.
Yeah, just a little bit too much.
That's another reason why I really like Capital for the LordBagel, just because like he has a lot of options as far as coming up the ledge. If he knows that that's where he's going to be basically playing this set, he might as well give himself the most opportunity to mix up.
That was a slick conversion. But he's going to unfortunately die right there. I like that. Anything that Ori does that combos the opponent right above the up strong, I always pop off a little for.
It always looks so cool.
Yeah. It looks Galaxy Brain. Even though it's like something that Ori's can also improvise. It's always nice. The Bagel at 152. Armor gone now. But a really important parry. Just chooses to set up ice there instead as opposed to trying to follow up further on Jesier.
All right, do or die situation. We need to see if laying down that ice was really worth it.
It sets him up to be able to dock us from center stage in either direction, which is going to be nice. Ice does finally go away. And that's it. Wow, the runoff back air just does the trick onto Bagel. It's so stressful when you're fighting against an Ori who's willing to play that patient just right in your face, because we saw a few moments where Bagel tried to call that out, right? Like he preemptively up tilted to just cover the skies in front of him. Right. And then Jesier just stopped, just that moment before he reached him, and then whiff punished.
Like that goes back to what we were talking about earlier, with punishing is so important.
Yeah.
And especially behind a character like Ori who's already moving at a mile a minute.
Oh yeah, he's Tiny Falcon.
He really is.
Yeah, it has that same stress level of like he could get in at any time, and when he does, I'm going on a tour across the entire stage, cross country, maybe to the blast zone.
Looks like that's where LordBagel's heading right now, especially if Sign has anything to say about it. Oh, but we got some ice on the field. Let's see what. All right, a little bit of damage.
A little bit. I'm surprised he didn't go for anything harder than just a couple back airs, though. Wow.
All right. It worked out for him, but I think a bit of a messy start is exactly what LordBagel needed. Sort of like reset all this momentum that Jesier's built up in the previous 2 games.
Especially, yeah, landing the wild card options. That's kind of what Bagel is known for being, is just willing to go for these crazy plays. And in the process, like sometimes the reward is huge. He's taken like a set-off cake assault as one of his major wins as a result.
Backer not going to kill this time. No snipes.
Yeah, we actually see Bagel purposely drop way lower that time to avoid the snipe possibility. Nice back air lining up too. Just a little bit of distance he needed to stop the up strong.
I love how Bagel's adapted his recoveries to the stage throughout this set, because he's been forced to play off ledge for so long now.
He is getting a bit cleaner about it, and like he is aware of how Jesier especially wants to cover on this stage, which is why we're seeing like just that slightest extra bit of caution, these minute mix-ups in terms of attacks as he's flying back in.
Plus the fact that Game 3 is bringing us to Capital once again, it gives Bagel an opportunity to like mix up what he's already established, how he's coming back on stage. It's like, all right, I've already seen you do this, I've already seen you do that, watch me do it this, but differently.
Yeah.
And it seems like all those little mix-ups are paying off so well for Bagel.
Yeah. Unfortunately shatters the ice when Jesier opts to just go off stage after that hit. But still has himself a great position. Honestly, I'd say, given the situation, it's Bagel in the lead. Now it's Jesier. Oh wait, no. Bagel has an extra stock. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's chilling.
Yeah.
Like he's taking such a confident lead into Game 3 that he's able to afford that little bit of a loss.
Jesier, the pressure is absolutely on him now. Like a forward air will send him flying off stage, if not dead, if he's fast there. But of course, the Dacus being able to do so much work, and I think the main reason Bagel has been leaning more into it is we see how airborne Jesier likes playing with all these aerials as his favorite way of coming in, and you just smear those hammers across like a third of Fire Capital. So you don't even really need to worry about the minute spacing and baiting that Jesier is pulling out.
All right. This stage? Oh, no. This is not going to be fun for LordBagel.
This is going to be a tough look. Very, very small blast zones. This is one of the stages that Ori can really carry you across. I can see why Bagel would leave this open compared to some of the other small stages, just because we have a similar Fire Capital dynamic with how high those platforms are near the edge. It makes it a little bit harder for Jesier to cover everything, but it's still possible. And just getting hit by like 2 up airs off stage could be your life. Here we go. Which way is he reading?
Oh, all right.
If you don't know, folks, like that is not a mash situation if you're in the ice. That is a tech chase situation. Think snake down throw, where you know they're going to choose one way to roll, and it's up to you to guess which one.
Didn't get the guessing right so far, but as far as how LordBagel's trying to take this game floor, I actually really like his approach to it. Trying to just lock down center stage, make sure he constantly has ice, and his positioning of the ice is super important too. It's not just a matter of having it at center stage, but right near the platforms too, so he has maximum mobility.
Yeah, I love that like he's specifically firing the ice off in the opposite direction of Jesier, because last game Jesier actually parried the falling icicles, and that changes the neutral dynamic entirely. It's like, I want all the ice on the ground, I don't care about the projectile hits I might get on you.
Doesn't get the grab though. I feel like he hasn't been able to hit any of these.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, still finding like the first 3 nairs or so, like that still does like half of Ori's life, essentially. Probably even more given the stage. Oh, looking for the spike with the out special and still able to keep up the pressure afterwards.
The wall clings to mix up recovery have been so clean from Jesier. We've seen it come out a couple of times, but where are we fighting?
Catch!
Where are we at?
So that was layers of mind games, right? Because LordBagel knows that Jesier likes sniping out that up special, so this time he let go earlier, and Jesier expected that, jumped up in the corner, and caught him with the up air.
Oh, we went in the opposite direction. All right, by rule of thirds, the next ice that Bagel gets, he's going to get the read.
Okay.
He's got to read the script. He's got to get it.
That is statistically RNG style, yep. Oh, coming out. I like it. Just coming straight down with your fastest hitbox to break out. It's like a plumber nair.
It is. It takes up so much space. It's so quick. You might as well. It's a safe enough landing option.
Oh, and that's it. Jesier getting the stalking right into the corner, finding that last up air. That was an actually scary situation.
That really was.
Because if Bagel managed to land back on ground one more time and start something else on Jesier, he would have been by far at death percent, if not just out.